This is our new backyard bike trail, Crazy Train. So Crazy Train is our new blue level jump trail, and I'll start by giving you a tour of it. The first feature is a tight berm that banks to the left. It's super fun to rail and gives you a lot of speed as well. The angle of the hill it sits on is also very steep for a berm, so you carry a lot of speed through it. Next is a cambered roller. This feature isn't really anything special, but it created flow in an empty spot for the trail. This shoots you into the next berm, which is total chaos. The radius of this berm must be around 40 feet, making it ride like a true bike park berm. The angle on this isn't harsh, and you can get a crazy amount of speed because it points downhill. The exit of the berm shoots you out into the first real jump, which is a little step up. This jump was intended to be bigger, but we didn't end up getting enough speed into the next jump. Now, it's a little scrub jump meant to increase your speed. The first big table comes right after, and it measures a whopping 17.5 feet long. This may be my favorite jump at the bike park as of now, as the lip is very floaty and has a great feel. The landing of the table goes into a berm, then a roller. Both of these features are filler and only add flow to the trail. The next jump is a small step down at around 10 feet. The purpose of this is to gain speed into the jump we will build today, and that takes us right up to date, where we'll use all of this extra dirt to build a lift for a massive wooden step up. I say we go to Home Depot and get some wood first. So this ended up being our load of wood for the first day at Home Depot, but we ended up going back a second time because we needed more wood. This ended up being our entire load for the day, and I'm super excited about it. We also took advantage of the 70% off lumber pile and got a few extra boards from Matt. Now our new trail is actually much closer to the road, so we have an easier way to get the wood down this time. We just went to Home Depot to get even more wood for the new jump, and we got to get it all down there. So I'll see you in like a year.
2,000 years later.
We got a ton of screws. We have all of these ones and then a whole new box of construction screws. So this project's not going to be hard in that way. Now that we finally have all our wood, we can start on the step up. This is by far the biggest wooden feature I've ever built, so I honestly don't really know where to start. I say the first step is to dig in our post holes. We want this jump to have support in all directions and from all sides too, so digging 10 holes should be enough for today. We aren't using concrete mix to secure the post though, so the holes need to be very deep. Unlike last time, we're precisely measuring our work area. Some of the previous features at the bike park weren't really measured level at all, and the planks either got narrower or wider towards the end. This time, I'm making sure that doesn't happen. All of the post holes are going in the right direction so far, so that's great news. The landing should be about 31 feet long if our measurements are correct, 15 feet to the downslope, and a landing zone that's 16 feet long. I think we can cut the post now. There are a bunch of fallen trees here, so grabbing some sturdy posts shouldn't be an issue at all. Sweet, we can now start putting our posts into the holes. It's best to go in order from start to finish here because it allows you to easily predict the curve of the landing. For us, we're putting a set of posts to support the uphill slope, 4 posts on the middle section with a flatter slope, and 4 posts for the long landing of this jump. not going to use quick dry concrete mix here, it's important to pack the dirt every few inches. If you pile up a high mound of dirt then pack it all at once, the middle stays loose. The method of layered packing is easily the most efficient, but it does take the longest. To help make the post even more stable, we're using this heavy clay. This dirt is considered gold when building here in the Pacific Northwest. When slightly wet, you can mold and pack clay better than any other type of dirt. We built our big step-up lip out of clay, and it was rock hard after only a few days. This dirt appears deep into the ground and has a bright white color, so it's very easy to tell if you found it. Anyway, let's get some clay in those holes. Now let's get into the juicy stuff, which is building the wood frame itself. We're using 2x6s to support the landing, so it will be nice and strong. The first step of this process involves connecting all the posts together on each side and making sure the entire structure is level. This is super important here because when planks are angled, they can throw you in the wrong direction and actually make you crash. So far, it looks like this feature has been planned out perfectly. The curve is nice and forgiving, and it seems to point very well into the next jump that we'll build in the future. We haven't even added bracing yet, and we're less than a quarter of the way through, but this already feels stable than a lot of other wooden features that we have. That's definitely a good sign. The top part of the curve needs to be a little bit shorter than the uphill and landing because we want the case guard to sort of roll off without a harsh impact when you land on it. Also, the jump would be way too long without a shorter top, so that option just goes out the window. The beauty of building a wood landing is that you can adjust the lip to send you perfectly rather than chop up a whole entire landing and push it out farther. Now, the whole landing is framed, but we can still add boards in the middle for extra support. You see, the planks we're using are 1x6s and not 2x6s, so we need some extra support to prevent snapping a board. Now you may ask why we didn't just get 2x6s, but it's because they're a lot more expensive. This jump is turning out absolutely insane. I'm super stoked of what we've accomplished so far, and now all we'll have to do is plank it out. We just need a little bit more support in some spots. It looks like all of our measurements and leveling worked because this entire landing follows a great curve and everything is level. It just looks amazing too. So today's the end of day 2, and I think we got some pretty good work done on this. It's looking really nice. The entire frame is up and it looks amazing. Now, all we need is a little bit of magic to get all these boards on, but I got you covered. So we've been working all day and the past few days too to get this landing finished, and I'm happy to announce that it is finally done and it looks amazing. Now, only a few days after, this trail is absolutely prime and the lip is perfect. I think it's time for us to finally test out this jump. Well, right now, it's not really that great to be honest. The lip could use some making taller as I'm struggling to clear it even when I pedal. It's also just not that fun of a lip and I want it to be floaty. After adding some height to the lip and fixing the radius, this thing turned into an absolute blast. perhaps the best part is how progressive this jump is. My friend went from this to this in a matter of days. This jump turned out exactly how I wanted to. It's super floaty and fun, and it's very progressive as well. For now, all that's left to do is have a real riding session, so let's continue it. We had a great riding session today, and this jump turned out even better than I wanted it to. For now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next week.